What's going on, Notre Dame fans? I'm Tyler Horka. That's Jack Sobel. We are with blueandgold.com, Blue and Gold Illustrated, where we just took in about half hour of Notre Dame's 9th fall camp practice of 2023. It's flying by. It's crazy. 3 weeks from today, these guys will not be playing here at Notre Dame Stadium, but they'll be in Dublin, Ireland at Aviva Stadium playing Navy. Boy, they look like they could play a football game today. It was by far the most...
We want to play a football game today.
They made all of us want to play a football game today. The energy at practice today was insane. We walked in, and it felt normal. I mean, they went through their stretching lines and did all of those things, and I was like, all right, here's another half hour of really just trying to get personnel and maybe notice some specific things about individual players. Oh, no. It was straight into one-on-ones after stretching lines, receivers on defensive backs. We probably saw 5, 6, 7 of those maybe.
Yeah.
Couple quick notes from that. Jayden Thomas caught the last of them. Marcus Freeman called out best on best. So Jayden Thomas, by now we've come to find that he is Notre Dame's #1 wide receiver. Cam Hart was actually the defensive back that went up against him on a one-on-run. And the 2 reps before that, the wide receivers ran a corner. Matt Salerno, corner to the back pylon. Rico Flores Jr. beat Jaden Mickey on a back corner to the back pylon. That guy is looking really, really good. Jayden Thomas broke his route off early and kind of snuck to the inside pylon, the near pylon, and caught a back shoulder from Sam Hartman. I mean, I think that's a pass that you're going to see for Notre Dame, not just in the red zone on the goal line, but short yardage situations when you need a first down or, just trying to catch the defense sleeping. That is a go-to back shoulder from Sam Hartman to Jayden Thomas. And then it went into some other one-on-ones where it's really hard to describe this drill. But you basically had 2 players going head-to-head. One guy was running a straight line toward a stationary tackling dummy. Another guy was probably 3-4 yards away from him, and he was angling toward the dummy, making sure that that guy who was running the straight line could not touch the dummy. And it was physical. It was vocal. What did you notice from that portion of practice? I really like that drill.
Yeah, I like the drill. I think it's a bit of a special teams thing, like a punt gunner versus anti-gunner drill.
Yep.
I'm not sure like the players involved are going to be in exactly that situation this year. They might be, who knows. But that's the situation that they were simulating with that drill. We saw like a couple kind of mini battles emerge, recurring battles throughout practice. One of them in that drill was Jaden Mickey against Rico Flores. Mickey beat him in that drill, I think 3 times, but progressively Flores held his own more and more throughout those 3 reps. I think you'd agree. Mm-hmm. And we saw, as we've seen before, Mickey likes to talk. Mickey let Flores know after every one of those reps for extended time. That was it. That was interesting to watch. But yeah, Mickey, as we've seen, looks great. He looks physical. I wasn't here last year. I don't know how physical he looked as a freshman, but he really showed that this year in addition to what I believe are elite movement skills from the sophomore corner. Yeah, kind of going back to one-on-ones just for a second before we move on to the rest of practice. Sure. First couple reps that I remember off the top of my head, and we saw Jayden Thomas against Benjamin Morrison was the second rep. Morrison really got all up in his grill, knocked the ball away. First rep was Tobias Merriweather against Cam Hart, and Merriweather beat him on that rep.
Back shoulder-ish,
yeah,
again, a little lower.
Back shoulder, but Hartman did the thing where he throws it low, and Hart's got his hands up, trying to expecting the ball to come in high, because Merriweather is 6'4". But the ball came in low, and Merriweather went down and made the catch. We really saw throwing back shoulder fades is an art, Ty, and Hartman is really good at that art. The back shoulder fade, the goal line fade, is kind of the play where it's so hit or miss because it really requires a perfect throw to get that. But if you get that perfect throw, it's really difficult to stop, and I think that's something we're going to see from Notre Dame a lot this season. Yeah,
Sam Hartman is great at them. You asked a really good question of him in the press conference afterwards, and I wanted to ask just how many of those have you done this summer, because it's an art, and like all art forms, practice makes perfect. So looking really good in that regard. Some other things that I kind of took away from the practice, I wrote about this at blueandgold.com. It wasn't all meat-heady, it wasn't there were some technical things to it. There was a little lull in the one-on-one aspect where the guys were running routes on air, and we see that all the time. We've seen it for every single practice that we've been made available to be here for. But Chancey Stuckey and Jared Parker, a guy would run what to you and me, I mean, we cover college football, been doing this for a while now, looked like a really good rep, a really good route, a really good catch, and Stuckey and Parker would find something in the rep and say, no, you got to do it again. I saw Stuckey coach up Jayden Thomas in that way. He coached up Jaden Greathouse in that way, where it was they're running corner routes, and I think Jaden Greathouse broke it off too early, and he turned around and looked for the ball a little bit early. That alerts the defense to what's coming, right? And Stuckey said, no, you've got to stay in your dig a little bit longer, then make your cut, and by the time you turn around, that ball's going to be there, and you're probably still running to the end zone. So I thought the technical aspects mixed in with the Marcus Freeman just being as voiceful, vociferous and loud, and vociferous, loud,
intense,
expletive laden. I believe you wrote at blueandgold.com. Look, it's not breaking news that football coach cusses, even a great guy like Marcus Freeman. It happens, but that was what today was. Yeah. It was high energy.
Yeah, Freeman, in that speech, the thing that stuck out to me, and I'm gonna remove a couple words from this here, but he's like, there's gonna be winners and there's gonna be losers today. He's like, we're gonna compete, and Notre Dame really competed throughout practice. The other couple drills they did that were a lot of competition. A running back versus linebacker pass protection drill. I thought the running backs really mostly came out ahead. Particularly Audric Estime,
just the beast.
Jabron Payne looked better than I expected him to look in pass pro, honestly. Jadarian Price looked pretty good as well. Maris Liufau, he had one good rep where he kind of powered his way past, I want to say Price, like off the edge for what would have been a chance to get his hand on the quarterback. The one really linebacker that beat his man clean was Drake Bowen, the freshman. He put a nice swim move on Estime that I thought was pretty impressive. The other not really one-on-one, but offensive line versus defensive line drill is fully live, working some outside zone.
Yep.
Riley Mills against Blake Fisher. That was another rivalry. Mills beat Fisher on his first rep, got in the gap. The next rep, Mills kind of threw Fisher to the ground after Fisher got a good initial punch. They were jawing at each other too. In that drill overall, I thought the offensive line got the best of it. Yep. But there's a lot of intense competition going on today.
Yeah, and just to wrap things up quickly here, you mentioned winners and losers. You mentioned Drake Bowen losing a rep.
Winning a rep.
Or winning a rep, excuse me. I saw Drake Bowen lose a rep, and that is exactly what it was. This practice was. Jalen Sneed, it was the special teams, angling, go get the dummy drill, whatever you want to call it. Jalen Sneed was the guy running the straight line, and Drake Bowen was the one trying to prevent him from touching that dummy. And Jalen Sneed is fast. I know he's bulked up to 222 pounds, but he is still really fast. That's what made him the 4 or 5 star recruit, depending on who you look. That's what made him who he was. And he got to that dummy, and Bowen looked a little slow. He didn't take the right angle, but that's what today's practice was. There was winners, there was losers, and you could be both within the confines of the single practice. I thought it was awesome. Hopefully, when we are back next week watching a full practice on Tuesday, we'll have some partial practice observations here on the YouTube on Monday, but we will watch a full practice on Tuesday. Give us all of these one-on-ones. Give us this fiery competition because, like I said at the beginning, 3 weeks out from football, from these guys kicking off in an actual game, it really felt like they're gearing up towards that. But follow us at blueandgold.com. Stick with the YouTube. There's going to be so much coverage this weekend from what we talked about with the quarterbacks. Until then, and until we see you guys again after practice on Monday and Tuesday, I'm Tyler Horka. That's Jack Sobel. We'll see you guys next time.